Welcome to the Daily Somatic Essentials movement practice to help you reset your nervous system, release stress and tension, clean up any habitual patterns so you can move without pain. Props you'll want for this, it will be, you want to get that ready, maybe a small pillow for your head, a blanket, and a bolster if you have one. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a larger pillow or a folded blanket. We'll begin the practice lying down and having any props that will support you here. So I'm going to just place this bolster under my legs. You could have a folded blanket again. If you need a pillow under your head. So just begin by finding a comfortable position lying down. Take a moment to notice your uppermost thoughts. Allowing those thoughts to drift away. Inviting your mind to rest in your body. Sense and feel the back of your body and all the places that are touching the earth and not touching the earth. Sense and feel the front of your body. Sense and feel the right side of your body. Sense and feel the left side of your body. And take a moment to notice what stands out, where you may be holding tension, now begin to sense and feel the earth beneath you. Connecting to the earth as a prop. Sense and feel the earth holding you up. And take a moment to notice if that allows you to release and let go a little bit more. We'll bend our legs, and if you have something under your knees, you can use your feet to scoot that out of the way. Bringing your feet to the earth, allowing your knees and your feet to be hip distance apart. Arms down at your sides into what's called easy resting pose. And we're going to begin with some really slow pelvic tilting. And you'll want to really move slowly and small in all of these movements. We're staying in pain-free range of motion. And we are consciously going into muscle contraction and consciously releasing them. So with all of those movements, really allowing your mind to pay attention to what you're sensing and feeling. Beginning with tilting that pelvis forward so that we're creating this arch in the back. And see that back kind of lifting up off of the earth a little bit. as you're kind of pressing that tailbone down. Okay, you may feel that then arching of the back even up into the upper back, so the shoulders are gently grounding into the earth, imprinting. As you hold this arch, take a moment to sense and feel all the muscles on the back of your body, all those back muscles going into that contraction. You'll feel them tensing and shortening. So once you can really connect to the sensation of those muscles contracting, we're going to slowly release. We're going to release as slowly as we can, letting the back gently float back down to the earth. Okay? And you'll feel those muscles releasing, beginning to melt and lengthen as the back gently floats down. Pause and take a breath when you have completed that release to see if you can release a little bit more. With all of these movements, you'll want to pause after the release so that you can notice if you're still holding on to anything and release just that little bit that's left. Let's move it back into that arch. And release. And move into that one more time. Now we're going to move that pelvis or tilt it the opposite way and lift the shoulders toward the sky. So now we're actually lengthening out the back muscles more, and you're feeling the muscles on the entire front of the body moving into that contraction. You'll feel them tighten and shorten. Slowly release that. Pause, take a full breath at neutral, releasing anything that may be left. And move into that a couple more times, exploring that in your body. Again, small and slow, staying in pain-free range of motion. If you're straining, just go smaller. Put way less effort into it. Ultimately, with the somatic movement, we are really exploring the release and the letting go. When you're ready now, slowly begin to alternate between that arch of the back, releasing that, pausing at neutral, taking a breath so that you can get a good sense of where neutral is in your body. And then moving into that contraction of the front. Just move through this a few more times. Continuing to release the tension. Let the muscles melt. Pause and breathe when you have completed the round you're on. And we're going to add another layer to this arching and this curling motion. So we're going to add in this blooming out of the legs and the arms. So the arms are externally rotated, so the palms are up and the legs are opening. And then we're going to slowly bring the legs back in and let the arms internally rotate. The shoulders can even lift more as the legs press in toward each other. So that blooming in. And we're going to add that movement of the arms and the legs with that arching and curling motion that we were doing. So when we arch the back, the legs and the arms open. And slowly release. As the back releases, the legs and the arms begin to rotate inward. And now, as we curl the front of the torso, contracting all those muscles, the legs and the arms internally rotate in. So we're blooming in and release. Nice and slow. Let it all go. And explore that blooming out and blooming in. Going back and forth. And ending with that blooming in when you're feeling complete with this exploration, and returning to neutral and just pausing to notice how you feel in your body. We're going to transition now onto our belly. And if you have any trouble with strain and pain in your low back or your neck and shoulders, this is a good place to use a folded blanket. You'll want to use a blanket folded up and having it starting right at about, the top of the rib cage here, and down, supporting your pelvis. And you can have this as high as you need. So you can start with one height, and if that is not giving you enough support and you still have strain or pain in your low back or your neck and shoulders, you can add more height and maybe even use 2 blankets. So you can find what works the best for you. Supporting yourself on this blanket, begin with resting your forehead on your hands. And take a few breaths here, allowing yourself to reconnect with the earth, sensing and feeling the earth as your prop holding you up so that you can let go as much as possible here. Now bringing that right arm down to the side, and we're going to turn our head to the left, lining up our elbow with our shoulder. Our fingertips are resting at our right cheek, near our nose or our mouth, wherever we feel comfortable. And we're going to start just with lifting this elbow up and slowly releasing it down. Let yourself completely land and release everything before you come back up. Now we're going to add in the lifting of the shoulder and the head with the elbow. So we're lifting that left arm, the head, the elbow, and keep that right arm resting down at the side and that right shoulder down. So you're only coming up as far as you can without lifting that right shoulder. And slowly release. And allow yourself to fully land and completely let go here. We're wanting to use the muscles in the upper left side of the back to lift us. So if you notice other areas compensating for that and wanting to help you out, just lift less, move smaller so you can isolate and release. Try one more there. And return to center, resting the forehead on the hands. We're going to come to that right leg now and gently just lift that up a little bit here. And then slowly release it back down. And again, when it comes down, let it all go. Release everything. And then come back into that, exploring that a couple more times. When you're complete with that, we're going to bring that right arm back down to our side and turn the head again to the left. And we're going to put that upper body movement we were doing together with that right leg lift. So I'm coming into that contraction of the back line and slowly releasing it. Let it all melt as you land. And go through that a couple more times. When you have completed that, you can return to center and take a few breaths there, noticing how that diagonal line feels on the back of your body compared to the other side. So now we're going to practice that on the other side. So we're going to bring that left arm down to the side, turn our head to the right, and again, let that elbow be in alignment with the shoulder. The fingertips are resting along the left cheek. Begin by lifting that elbow and slowly releasing. Now we'll lift that entire right arm and the head, keeping that left shoulder down, and slowly release. Let it all go, and then come back up into that again. Exploring this a couple more times. Returning to center when you feel complete with that. And now we're going to explore lifting that left leg gently up and slowly releasing down. Let all the muscle contraction release completely, and then come back up, exploring that a couple more times. And now we'll put together that upper body movement with that lower body movement on this line. So again, bringing that left arm down to the side, turning the head to the right, and then lifting that upper body and lower body together, coming into that diagonal back lift and that slow release. The focus is more on the letting go. And let yourself completely melt, releasing it all when you land. Returning to center when you are complete. Taking a few breaths there and noticing how that diagonal line in your body feels. So now we're going to roll onto our back again. Into that easy resting pose. And just take a moment here to check back in. Just notice if the relationship of the back of your body with the earth has changed in any way. Now returning to a comfortable lying down position. You can grab your bolster or any support that you would like under your knees. And settling in here, checking back in, sensing and feeling the back of your body, and all the places that are touching the earth or not touching the earth. Noticing any changes from your initial check-in. Sensing and feeling the front of your body, the right side, the left side. Taking notes of any shifts or changes in your body. Allow yourself to stay here for several minutes, integrating the practice done here today in all layers of your being.